Sorry if the rain is super loud. I'll try to talk louder than usual so that you can hear me. But so on May the 24th, Saturn moved into the sign of Aries, and it will stay there until Saturn goes retrograde on September the 1st. It will make its way back into the sign of Aries on February 13th of next year, and then will stay in the sign of Aries until April 12th, 2028. So this is going to be a couple years of a transit that we're getting a taste of for a few months this year, like a preview. Saturn is in its fall in the sign of Aries, meaning that it is very uncomfortable here and unable to fulfill its potential very easily. So this means that it will encounter a lot of friction, and although it will be a difficult placement, can really lead to breakthroughs and a lot of really great learning experiences that can ultimately evolve you as a person. If you have your Saturn in Aries in your birth chart, you are about to have your Saturn return. And all I can tell you about that is buckle up, man. It can be a harrowing time, but ultimately, if you allow it to be, it can be such a transformative experience that really leads you on the right path for fulfilling your purpose and potential in this lifetime. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. It is the planet that is here to teach us our hard lessons, our karmic lessons, and to really lock us into the realm of matter, where you work hard to see results and you are met with limitations and restrictions and forced into a structured environment, and you have to succeed in spite of these things. And Aries is a sign that doesn't do well with those sort of restrictions. Aries is very independent. It is very free will powered. It is very rebellious and doesn't do well with authority, while Saturn, Lord of Karma, is the authority of the zodiac. So you can see where there's friction here. And how this will affect you personally will be determined by your birth chart, in specific your houses, whatever house Aries falls in. And so here is a brief overview of how this Saturn in Aries transit can affect you based on your rising sign. And it's just a very brief overview. It's not going to go into depth, but it's kind of like what you could generally expect. And this is where you can expect to see Saturn imposing restrictions, creating challenges for you, and ultimately encouraging you through restrictions and through limitations, encouraging you to take responsibility and to have some self-discipline in order to achieve long-term success in your life. For those with an Aries rising, this will be your first house. Saturn is going to be imposing these restrictions, limitations, and challenges on you in your life in regards to your self-image and to your relationship with yourself and your willpower, the way you, the relationship you have with your sense of willpower and autonomy. For the Taurus rising, this will be your 12th house, and these impositions are going to be placed on your spiritual experiences, your spiritual connection with the divine, with your higher power, with your higher self, with your subconscious beliefs and infrastructure, and your overall unconscious mind. For those with the Gemini rising, this will be your 11th house. And it is going to be imposing upon your relationship with the collective or with the society at large, as well as like all of your larger social circles. This could be your presence online, anything that is in connection with your relationship to the world at large. For the Cancer rising, this transit will be taking place in your 10th house, and it will be affecting your career or, your life's work, so to speak, and your public image and legacy. So whatever it is that you're leaving behind for the world and whatever kind of name, your reputation that you're creating for yourself, this impact is going to be on those areas of your life. For the Leo rising, this will be transiting your 9th house. This is going to affect your relationship to philosophy, your philosophical ideas and values, your intrigue in more esoteric or existential topics, your relationship to existentialism itself and to mortality and things like that, and just the deeper thoughts and ponderings that one will have on, life itself. This is where the impact of Saturn is going to take place. For the Virgo rising, this will take place in your 8th house. And it is going to be imposing on, firstly, your shared resources. So this can have to do with a reliance on others for being sustained, whether it's parents or family, or whether it's a marriage, the shared resources in your life. And then it's also going to be impacting your relationship to intimacy and your relationship to power and control. For the Libra rising, this is going to be impacting your committed relationships with others, be them romantic relationships or business partnerships of all kinds, especially in relationship to like contractual connections with others. For the Scorpio rising, this is going to be affecting and impacting your health, your daily habits and routines and structures, and your relationship to perfectionism and being critical, hypercritical of yourself and of others, the relationship to your physical body as well. For Sagittarius risings, this imposition is going to take place in your life, namely in your creativity and your self-expression and your ability to be confident in yourself and, unabashedly express who you are to the world. So it also is going to affect your joy and pleasure in a sense. It's going to have an impact on those things and cause restrictions for those things. It can also cause friction in relationships with your children or your inner child. For the Capricorn rising, this imposition by Saturn is going to affect your home and your relationship to security and into privacy and to protection of the home, as well as your relationships to your close immediate family and your mother or to motherhood. For the Aquarius rising, this imposition is going to affect your relationship to your local environment, specifically like neighbors and people that are in your outer circle in your immediate environment, as well as your relationship to curiosity and experimentation and just learning new things in general, as well as communication. It's going to impose upon your communication. For the Pisces rising, this is going to affect your self-worth. It is going to impose upon your values, maybe have you redefine your values, and it is going to impose upon your material resources, and namely your money or your security in life.